All right, so the first, like I said, we'll go back. Remember, you want to click on the export at the upper left area. I'll put that upper left. Okay, so just going over this again. And so we had you do a screenshot of that. So if I go this area right here, if I click on edit, we want to click here, okay, export, okay, or we want to go to file, export, and then media, okay, and that's what we did. We were able to do 2 screenshots over there. The step number 2 was the export page, and all I asked you guys to do was export the entire, screenshot the entire screen. So if you click here, this is what and right now we're going over all the different features of this. Number 3 is the file name, which is this one right here, okay? We did a screenshot of this whole thing here, just that part, as you can see. And what I did was the file name is the same as the sequence name, and the file name changes based on the activity of the line, okay? Then we have location, which is the next part right here, and that decides where on the computer you want to keep your file. Okay, so where on the computer, and it's your PR project file, your Premiere file, okay? So I'm going to put down Premiere file, Premiere, if I know how to spell it, there it is. Okay, so it's a place you can put, they say, oh my God, that's horrible. They say to place the project file in the same folder as your media files, which makes sense. Okay, I export into the desktop. Now, you guys, when you first click on this, you might see something different. You might see the Adobe Premiere folder. Okay, don't put it in there. You'll be confused. It's hard to find. Always put it on the desktop or inside your folder. Now, the presets is where we are right now. Okay, so again, you want to be able to, where is it? Presets. Again, you don't want to mess with this. Okay, just keep it at default high bit rate. Okay, you don't want to mess with this. It is exactly the way it should be. All right, favorites. Okay, if you notice the favorites, it'll say here match source. What you're doing is you're matching exactly what you put into when you created the sequence. Presets are already set when you created the sequence, okay? And your sequence are at the lower left or lower right here. Okay, that's what tells you what your sequence are. You want to make sure that you understand the size, okay, 1280, and the rate, the frame rate. So that's where we are right now. All right, so next one, okay, this is critical. This is where it's important. So if you click on the drop down, okay, I just want you to click on the drop down and go up to where it says H.264. Okay, H.264. All right, I just want to make sure that other things are here. Well, I guess not. All right, anyways, it's okay. Just take a screenshot, but make sure you see H.264 right here. Okay, so let's do a screenshot of this entire area right here. This right here, okay? And then bring that in. Okay, so now this is called the format. Okay, this decides what is it going to be an MP4, a movie file. So what you need to do now is you go over here. Okay, so I'm going to write this down. H.264. And you wonder why they don't just say MPEG, all right, or MP4. That converts it into MP4. Okay? Okay, that's the MP4 video file. Do not, I repeat, do not confuse it with Blu-ray. We do not have Blu-ray here. Does anybody here have Blu-ray? You do? Okay. Yeah, well, that's an antique. Hold on to it. I hear that's making a comeback with some added features, so that's good, but I don't have one. And a lot of times teachers around this campus ask me to capture things, and like they'll give me a CD player, a CD-ROM. Anybody remember what that is? A CD, and I'm like, ooh. And sometimes they'll give me a VHS tape, and I'm like, there's no way for me to play this. I don't have that anymore. So at any rate, you'd pretty much have to go to Costco and ask them to kind of like digitize it, I guess. There are ways to do it, but I think that's too much. JPEG, of course, they have it. I don't know. Now, if you just want to capture sound, okay, let's do this. MP3, we all know what that is. MP3, okay, sound only. Okay, so it only exports to audio. And that would be good if you want a podcast. Okay, I encourage all my podcasters to go in there and film themselves. Talk and film. And then if you don't like, I don't know, if you guys are doing something crazy, like if you're eating in there, which is a no-no, but you don't want Mr. Haig to find out. Trust me, I always find out. Just by the smell and by the crumbs itself, I find out. If you eat in there, you're banned for a whole session. All right, so sound only, MP3, okay? Now the other one, okay, MPEG 4. MPEG 4 is another video file, so let's write down MP4. MPEG. I'm sorry, not MPEG. It's MPEG, not MP4, MPEG. And I don't know much about it, but notice the extension, okay? See that? So if we have a test and I ask you what is the extension of, say, HVEC, okay, and you click on it, what does it say? MP4. But if I say, okay, what is the extension of the Blu-ray thing? Okay, look at that, M2B. So always be aware of whatever extension. But the other one we use most likely is QuickTime. Here we go, QuickTime. And that is an MOV file, okay, QuickTime. So write down QuickTime, MOV, okay? In this case, everybody choose H.264, please. So that would be, okay, remember, not Blu-ray, it's got to be H.264 by itself. All right, any questions? Okay, we're not quite done yet. This is quite complicated. So let's go on to the next slide. Get ready to import something. The next one is this right here. What range are we talking? If you go to the drop down, do you want to do the entire source? Now it would be you may want to do the entire source. That means from A to Z. That would make sense. But sometimes you just want the work area, okay? Like source in and out, okay? Let's go back into, what is the work area? Everybody choose work area. Let's go into edit, okay? And the work area, you guys see this little kind of gray little bar here? That's the work area. And if you go over here, you'll notice there's a blue marker there. You can actually draw it in, okay? And then on the other side, okay, if we can get there, you notice that the work area stops right here. It stops right in the middle, okay? So let me do this real quick, and then, maybe you can try. I'm just going to go ahead and export, okay? And I'll choose work area. But you also notice here, the work area only selects a portion of the video. Now, if I did entire source, then everything is selected. Notice there's no selection. But if I do just the work area, that's all I get. And this whole thing, let me go back to editing. This whole thing is, like if I go over here, this whole thing is 3 minutes and 28 seconds long. So let me go ahead and export this really fast. I hope it goes fast. It's going to go in the disk. I'm just going to rename this export_1, and let's see what happens. I'm going to press export, and it's going to do this. Just a few seconds. Okay, it's done. Then we check our desktop. Okay, our desktop is right there. There it is right there. Okay, and by the way, you can always check. See, notice right here, the duration is about a minute. Okay, which is 57 seconds. But it'll also tell you the dimensions and all that. That's why I want you always on the column. But if you press the space bar, okay, it'll expand it, And notice, again, it only goes a minute. All right? So it does this, it does this. Well, okay, so you see it kind of messed up. There's a dude. And it didn't take the takeoff, it didn't take the flight, didn't take the landing, and it didn't. So you see, not everything was captured. And you guys are going to run into that. And I run into that almost every year because people are not aware. Now, let's go ahead and for you guys, let's do this, please. Click on Export. And then go ahead and click on Entire Source. Let's see what happens, okay? Everybody do that? Okay, so call it Export. Make sure it's on the desktop, okay? But before we do that, go ahead and take a screenshot of this area right here. Okay, just this where it says range. All right, that is range, okay? And then put that in, please. All right, so this would be, goodness, what's going on here? Eesh. Sorry, fit. Okay, so we go to, this is called the work area or the range, okay? We'll call it export range, how's that, okay? So that's what we are. So we want to do either, okay, so let's go ahead and write this down. Entire source, okay, we'll export, okay, everything in the timeline, okay, work area, okay, will limit to exporting whatever is within the work bar at timeline. Okay, I'll just go ahead and zoom this in. Okay, so pretty important that you understand this. Okay, a lot of people are not aware of that they've selected the work area and it didn't go across. Okay, I also would like for you to take a screenshot of the work area, but we'll do that. Whoops, what happened? So I'm going to shrink this, and so I'll make room for the work area right about there. You don't have to take over the entire thing. All right, so there we go, right there. Okay. Okay, hopefully you got that. So let's take let's go back into Premiere and then click on Edit. And I also would like for you to, so let's see. So if you notice, every one of these on the timeline, okay, has the hamburger icon. If you click on it, you'll see that it'll have the work area bar. And that work area bar is this guy right here. But in the export, okay, I'm going to move it. Where is it? There it is right there. So you notice that the blue markers kind of show the boundaries. So anything in between the blue markers is what's going to be exported. So if I want it, I can go ahead and draw this out. You see the bottom scroll? And then I can just take this right blue area and go all the way across, and bam, there it is. So now everything is selected. Okay, so everybody go ahead and shrink this a little bit, okay? And take a screenshot of that, okay? And then bring that in the same thing. We are in slide number 8, okay? So just where it says timeline, okay? You can adjust, okay, just work area by moving the blue markers. Okay, you have an in point and an out point. Okay, setting boundaries. Okay, so that's basically it right there. I'll zoom this up a little bit. All right, so basically you got to be aware. It might be best, okay, I'm going to go back in there, and this time what I'd like for you to do, okay, let's see, where else is there is, let's go to export. I'm going to take this work area and kind of shrink it automatically. Okay, I'm going to shrink it just for demonstration purposes. And if you notice, oops, where is that work area? Oh, look how small it is now. So I have to drag this out, see that? So I'm just gonna leave that there. This time I'm gonna go to export, and this time what I recommend doing is select entire source. Okay, and let's go ahead and export. All right, so again, make sure everything is right. This is what you did. The encoding is 3.29 seconds, okay? If I chose work area, notice it goes down to 4 minutes, see, right here. So let me see something before, yeah, it's important that we, actually what I'd like you to do is, actually, let's go ahead and export it for now. Go ahead and press on export, okay? And now it's, oh, what happened? That was too quick. Oh, yeah, you want to know why it was so fast? Because I didn't put it to entire source. So put down the entire source and then export. And it might take a little while, and notice it does take a while, okay? So the whole source should be 3 minutes, something like 3 minutes long, but it should be the entire length of your work. Okay, when you get that message in the blue in the bottom right, it says that your thing is ready. All right, and let's see now. I have it at, and what it does is it kind of names it underscore the next. So you can always look over here, and if you notice, for me, my whole thing is 3 minutes 30, about 29 seconds, and that's what it has here. And as you can see, you can scrub right through it. See, you can do all this, and there it is. And that's what you have, okay? So on the number one is before we do that, okay, let's do this. Let's take a screenshot of output again, please. Okay, so take a screenshot, put that in. All right. Okay, output. All right, and one thing I do want you to be aware of, okay, is again, if you click on right here, output, this is how much of it that is being outputted. Transparent, red. Okay. So you may want to, let me go ahead and do this really fast. Okay. Okay. This shows how much, shows the duration of the video being exported. That's it, okay? And it's got to match, should match the timeline. Should match the timeline. Okay, so that's what it is. So you really got to understand this right here. Okay, so okay, timeline and the Finder. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is one last thing before we finally export is if you go to the Finder, okay, take a screenshot of the Finder right here. I made it too big, but it's okay. I'm gonna bring it in. Oh, there it goes. It's kind of, shoot, that's too small. Yeah, just make it. Just make it. And I'm going to copy this and I'll put it right here. Right. It's hard to see, I know, but you know it's there. Okay, so for you guys, it may not be that bad. Oops. I didn't capture. My bad. I did a lousy capture. So it's really this part right here. So I'm just going to capture this area right here. That's it, and put that in. Okay, so this is the Finder right there, okay? All right, so all right, so there it is. This is the Finder, okay? And so this should match that. There you go. All right, so what I'd like you to do now is export. I know there's 10 Okay, so let's go and do this, please. Go ahead and press export. Okay, it'll take a little bit longer. And what I'd like you to do is just take a screenshot of your final export. Okay, and I want to see the play controls. So it's doing its thing. Okay, and there it is right there. So what I'd like you to do is just press the space bar in Finder. Just press the space bar. And if you really want to, go ahead and File, Open, QuickTime, if you want to do it that way, you know, either way. But actually, let's do the QuickTime route. I'm sorry, let's do the QuickTime route. And then what I'd like you to do is take a screenshot with this. I want to see these controllers. Okay, so just take a screenshot, maybe go in the middle, right there. There, that's cool. And then just do a screenshot. All I want to see is the control panels, okay? All right, and since you're in an advanced class, I would assume that you know. Okay, export. All right, and then what I'd like you to also do is you'll notice that in the Finder, it'll come up as a .mp4, okay? So that's what we have, export, that's it. Okay, so I want to see the controllers. And once you're done, turn this in, please. Are there any questions? Okay, we'll pause.